Man to man though, so you get money at.
Nah, fact, you gotta pride yourself on that type of shit.
Good on good, I gotta really win.
Yeah, it's a different
I gotta bring out the toolbox.
Different world for him. Hey God, I'm glad you out here. Take it off, take it off.
I want him to have my whole little toolbox, cause I got two. I got Algebra 1, Algebra 2.
You know, I failed algebra.
But I can skip you the pre-cal immediately.
Yeah, I need the pre-cal.
I got you with that. Those AP classes, you know what the AP stand for?
What?
Advanced placement.
Come on now. Hey, I didn't know that.
With NFL training camp just a few weeks away, the New England Patriots are already positioning themselves to have one of the most major turnarounds in the NFL this season. And when we look at what they have added to this team, you're going to be speechless, right? Now, before we dive into the video, before we talk about a couple of players and a couple of reasons why I believe this Patriots team not only is going to improve going into this season, but most importantly, they could be playoff contenders once again. Under Mike Rabel, with the second year of Drake May, we're going to discuss everything you need to know. Again, we're just a week or two away from training camp. We're here. Football is back, basically, right? Before we dive into the video, I'm going to show you a clip, but I also want you guys to comment down below. While you're listening to this clip, comment down below 2 players that you believe could potentially break out this season for the Patriots. It could be Stephon Diggs. It could be a rookie wide receiver. It could be a veteran, a second-year player, right? Anybody on the roster that you think could potentially break out for this team. Let me know in the comments, and let's dive in.
The only team that I could see might have a bigger turnaround, or that I'm more confident in their turnaround from last year to this year, is the New England Patriots, because it was a Beverly Hills facelift that they got. Okay, it was the Kris Jenner. Is what they did. They are unrecognizable. Not that she's always been beautiful, but like, you know what I'm saying. Drake May gets a franchise left tackle in Will Campbell. 2 new receivers. They got Diggs, who is an all-pro, okay? He knows what he's doing. He's an all-pro. Stephon Diggs, and they get the rookie Kyle Williams. They get Travion Henderson, who I loved meeting through the draft process, and of course, at the Panini Rookie Premiere. We're gonna see a big jump out of this quarterback. I've spent time around Drake May. I really believe in him, and obviously Vrabel. Half the defense now too, right? He brings in his guy. He brings in somebody, Vrabel does.
Now, Kay Adams is completely right. When you look at this team from last season, the first thing that you notice is they were top, let's not say top, let's say bottom 29 or worse in every category besides 4th down conversion percentage, 30th in points per game, 31st in yards per game, 29th in yards per play, 29th in 3rd down conversion percentage, 30th in red zone scoring percentage, 29th in touchdowns per game. This was one of the worst offenses by far in the NFL last season, and guess what they did? They drastically improved it. Let's just take a look at it. You had potentially 2 to 3 new weapons, day one, maybe even starters at the wide receiver position, right? You had 3 brand new offensive linemen and a running back that could end up being the starter by week 6, week 5, week 4, maybe even week 1, right? Depending on what happens with Ramondre Stevenson, right? You had Stephon Diggs, the alpha wide receiver that Kay Adams was talking about, the all-pro wide receiver that is going to help mentor a guy like Kyle Williams. We already heard him say, listen, I want to help Kyle Williams get everything in his bag. I want to show him everything I know. I think he has the potential to be the next all-pro wide receiver in this New England Patriots wide receiver room, right? Matt Collins can do everything you want in a player in terms of blocking, effort levels, and he can make plays down the field. Matt Collins is a guy I absolutely love within this offense. You had a franchise starting left tackle in Will Campbell, who might need some time to grow, but he's going to be good, right? Eric Bradbury, major upgrade at the center position, let's not lie, right? Morgan Moses, another major upgrade at the right tackle position. All of these guys are big upgrades from what they had last season. And if we just take a look at last year's team, right, this is just one play, for example, a little bit of pre-snap motion by Pop Douglas. Look at this, right? They're blitzing 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's not even a blitz. They're sending 4. And guess what? You have 5 to 6 guys blocking. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have 6 guys blocking. 3 of them are doing absolutely nothing, and he's forced out the ball early. I mean, no time at all. Literally, anything you did to this offensive line would have been an upgrade. But they actually added good, talented players. I know that was a screen pass, but still, even, the right side of this offensive line does a horrific job at protecting Drake May for 2 seconds. Unreal. Before we break down any more of why I believe this team is going to be much improved going to next year, make sure you guys hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. It is free. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe. And we will be covering the Patriots throughout the entirety of this offseason, including every practice of training camp. We're going to cover you with every game of preseason, breaking down the all 22 coaches film. And then for the regular season as well, we're going to be breaking down film almost all year long. Make sure you guys are joining the family, turning on post notifications. That way you're notified every time we post a video. Let's dive back into why I believe the turnaround is real. All right, now I want to get a little bit more in-depth with the defense because it wasn't good. It wasn't the worst in the league either. They ranked about 21st in the NFL and around that mark throughout everything defensively, 21st in points allowed per game. Run defense-wise, they gave out the most rush attempts per game. That's because they were losing almost every single game, right? Most rush yards allowed per game because they were losing and teams are just running because they were in the lead, right? But this is the most important stats I want to show you, right? 28th and 32nd in both interception percentage and sack percentage as well. Now, this is hand in hand. Whenever you can get more pressure on the quarterback, you're going to create more forced passes, which is ultimately going to create more interceptions, right? So ultimately, this was the biggest thing defensively that they needed to change. Let's take a look at this, right? We're going to deep dive into it, but you can already see that they've added, let's just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players. 8 players to this defensive line group. And if we're being serious here, 9, because these edges, they're in a 3-4 defense, which means Landry and, Chason, who had a great year last year, by the way, are both going to be playing off the edge, okay? So you have about 8-9 guys here that are brand new to this defensive line, going to be creating pressure, but it's about who they added, okay? Let's talk about it. Now, the first guy I want to talk about is Harold Landry. Spent some time with Mike Rabel back a couple of years ago with Tennessee, right? Now, the first thing you're going to notice right here, guys, is you're going to see, wait, he can't get to the quarterback. He ranked 197th, almost dead last out of all edge rushers in football last year when it came to getting to the quarterback, right? Now, again, you're going to sit here and say, that's unbelievable. Why do we get him? Then you're also going to take a look down, right? Boom. 9 sacks last year. Now, that doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't make sense at all. How do you have 9 sacks, 19th in the NFL when it comes to sacks, but rank 197th in pass rush grade? You guys are going to say PFF is the stupidest thing in the world. That doesn't make sense, right? We're going to get to that in a second. But also, this is a grade that really stands out, and this is one that is very important right here. Run defense grade. 7th out of 211 edge rushers in football last year. That is huge news. Let me show you why Harold Landry is much better than 197th when it comes to getting to the quarterback. So let's talk about it. The reason why Harold Landry last season was top 20 in terms of sacks, but also almost dead last when it came to pass rush grade, is because he is a schematically drawn up pass rusher. Okay, so in one-on-one situations, he's not great. However, when you run what we like to call stunts or twists, right, where you have these guys break to the outside here, we're going to stunt as we're going to go in, and then we're going to break around that A gap, right? So, again, you guys can understand that he's not a one-on-one pass rusher. This is a guy that is going to be drawn up pass rush plays. So, again, you're going to see the defensive line trend to the outside here, right? We're going to see these guys start to make their way this way, and we're going to act like we're coming down, and then we're going to loop around that middle, okay? Great job here. And then this is the majority of his sacks coming off these stunts or twists. He's a great player if you know how to get him to the quarterback. And then this one speaks for itself. Milton Williams, coming off a Super Bowl win, only 26 years old, had 40 pressures last year, which was 19th in terms of defensive linemen interior defensive lineman getting to the quarterback. Was the second best pass rusher in football last year. Now, again, you're going to say, well, we only had 6 sacks as an interior defensive lineman, which is actually really good, to be honest. But he ranks second overall. Now, this is a guy that dominates one-on-one. He's not a schematic guy. He's a guy that if you give him a one-on-one, he is going to make you pay. Now, he's coming off a Super Bowl, but he wants to prove to the world that he is a generational type of pass rusher, and that is something that I believe he might be able to do. But from there, you add, a guy like Joshua Farmer and Braden Swinson, who I love, right? Chason is another guy that had a massive year, breakout year with the Las Vegas Raiders last year. I believe they stole him. You add Robert Spillane, one of the best run defenders in football from last year after losing Landon Roberts. That was a huge pickup, right? Carlton Davis is a great outside boundary corner. This team is so much better this year, and it doesn't even make sense how much better they got. Mike Rabel, Josh McDaniels, I believe that this team wins 9, 10, maybe even 11 games this season. Because they had such a bad year, they're going to be playing all the worst teams in each division. I think they've got a chance to really shock the world this season.